Let's get right to it. Uber and Lyft drivers. Are riders turning your car into a U-Haul? Uh-oh. This one right here is a son of a bitch. But we gonna talk about it. Now, in a situation, this situation is running rampant. You know, as an Uber and Lyft driver, when you get a regular call, you don't know that you're going to pull up on somebody that's sitting there that done got evicted, sitting there with 15 totes and think they're going to cram all up in your car, 30 trash bags, a couch, an 80-inch TV, or a lawnmower, weed eaters, all kind mattresses. You don't know what you may run into. Because these people book these trips and they do not say that they have these things with them. They're trying to get the cheapest trip possible. You understand what I'm saying? And when you pull up as a driver and you see this, you're actually in disbelief. Because not only are you not a moving truck, you are a driver. They actually think that you support, and if you allow them to put those things in your car, they actually believe that you're supposed to help them put it in. Or they might even actually say, hey, can you give me a hand with this? Hey, I'll give you a tip, promise of a tip. Listen, Uber and Lyft drivers, new drivers, drivers that may have, older drivers that may have never ran into this before, you are a driver. You're not, your car is not a U-Haul or moving van or moving trailer. You are supposed to transport people and groceries within reason. You understand what I'm saying? Moving totes and bags and excessive amounts of clothes and groceries. See, because one thing about when you're putting furniture in your cars and trash bags full of clothes and shit, bed bugs is in that shit. Bed bugs would get in your car. And the passenger be sitting in the back and then be biting the shit out of them. They're going to leave a complaint, say, hey man, well, I got bit up by bed bugs in there. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why I tell you, people want to have a whole bunch of clothes and stuff taken to the laundromat, 4-5 bags, and I'm like, hey, well, I can't put this one in the trunk, but I'm going to put it in the inside of the car. Absolutely not. You don't know if you got bed bugs in the house or not. And it ain't no need to sit there and say, well, how do I know you're not bed bugs? Hey, just don't allow it. Now, I don't put nobody put no bags of clothes inside this car. If it can't fit in the trunk, you're going to cancel this trip and you got to get your order a bigger vehicle. These people are booking these cheap trips because they're trying to get the smallest. You know they're going to send them a small car. So they want the cheapest trip possible. That's why they're not getting a vehicle that can accommodate whatever it is they're trying to carry. But the more the story is, our cars or SUVs are not U-Hauls. You understand what I'm saying? And that is a problem. And they would actually get mad with you when you tell them that you have to cancel this trip. You understand what I'm saying? I can't take this. Y'all excuse me if I'm sweating, but it's hot out here, and I trust and believe me, I've been out here getting it in today, trying to cut these pounds down. I'm doing pretty good too. Well, anyway, this moving shit is a son of a bitch. It's a pain in the ass. You understand me? And I know a lot of you drivers have experienced this because I got a lot of people leaving me messages saying, asking me, has this ever happened to them? And they want to know what to do in a situation like that. Well, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a pointer along with a few more along the way during this video if you stay to the end. When you pull up and you see somebody out there with a whole bunch of totes that you know can't get in your car, and you know ain't gonna fit in your trunk or in the back of your little small SUV, and they think they're gonna put them on them seats and all that stuff, you tell them, say, hey man, That's too much for this car. Oh no, I can put it in the trunk. I can do. Oh no, 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 no. All those totes would not fit in the trunk because I have stuff in there. And you're gonna have to call a bigger vehicle. I'm gonna have to cancel this trip. Plain simple as that. No back and forth, no nothing. When they come up on the thing, hey, why'd you cancel the trip? Hey, passenger had moving things that was too big for the car. That's all you got to do. You understand what I'm saying? Plain simply, they just canceled the son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to call a bigger, SUV, a bigger car or something. I can't move that. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I know you're gonna get a lot of backlash because it happened to me before. So let me here's a little story time for you all. Let me give you a little story time here. So one day I get a trip. I select a trip, and it takes me to one of them extended stay hotels, extended stay America or something like that. So when I get to, as I turn at the light, the extended stay America was down a little ways down the street. I see a whole bunch of police cars, right? So I'm like, damn, all them police cars there. And I'm like, wondering if an accident or something down there. I get there and I turn into the parking lot at the extended stay America. There's like 4 police cars out there. And then I see a couple coming. I see all this stuff piled up right there. Now, at this particular time, I was driving a Chrysler Pacifica. It's more like a luxury van, right? So, I see all this bags and boxes and food and all this stuff piled up right there. So I'm like, damn, somebody must be getting put out. Lo and behold, it's the people, they flagging me there. It's the people that I'm supposed to be picking up. So the guy came to the car. He said, hey, man, can you open the back up? I said, hold on, sir. You can't put all that stuff in here. I said, you can't put all that stuff in here. Oh, well, we booking several trips. I said, hey, man, listen. With all due respect, you're going to have to call you a bigger SUV because I'm not going to move that stuff. I'm not going to do no several trips to move that stuff. You can call whoever it is that you want to, but I suggest you, if you're going to pay for several trips, won't you go rent a U-Haul? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't have no driver license and this, that, and the third. And, man, we paying you to take us. We're not asking you to do nothing. You could at least drive. I said, hold on. Don't tell me what I can at least do because this is my vehicle. And I don't want all that stuff in my car. I don't know if bed bugs is on it or not. Oh, man, he talking about, oh, man, you know what? This, and I told him, I said, man, I said, lower your voice. I said, you're talking to a man just like I'm talking to you. I said, lower your voice. I said, I'm just telling you that I'm not going to move that stuff. All right, then I canceled the trip. Well, and when I was pulling off, I heard him say, black son of a bitch. I said, wow, that motherfucker in reverse. I said, you know what? The police back there. I know that this nigga right here only said that because the police was right there. Then I had to think, is it worth hitting him in his mouth? Is it worth that? Yeah, it made my blood boil. I mean, I was mad. But I had more to lose if I would have jumped out of that car and hit him in his mouth for calling me a nigga or black son of a bitch or whatever it is that he called. It would have something that had to do with race. And if I would have acted how they actually want us to act, like a nigga, then I'd have crashed out. I'd have been fucked up. And that was a time in my life where I was humbling myself and learning how to be more responsible, and not allow anger and not to lead with anger. And it was challenging because I was trying to teach myself that back then. I've came a very long way, thanks to God. You know what I'm saying? So, you're gonna run into all the. I mean, when you tell the people no, and they filed a complaint on me. They filed a complaint on me, and the complaint that they filed on me was that I threatened the guy. I threatened to fight the guy. I threatened to hit the guy or something. So of course, they suspended my account. Well, I think about an hour later, they suspended my account because he filed a complaint, said that I threatened him. Now, I canceled the trip. So he called customer service and told them that I threatened them, being vindictive. So an hour later, I'm driving, I drop somebody off, try to go to the one, I go to, all of a sudden I look, I got an email saying that my account been suspended. So I called them back. They were like, yeah, well, we got a report that you threatened violence towards this person, that you was very angry because you did not want to move his boxes or whatever. And I explained to the lady what happened, and I told her, I said, I'm going to send you all the dash cam footage. Okay? And you tell me in the dash cam footage where I threatened him. So what I did was I went into the app on my phone. The dash cam footage was in the app. I sent it. I say about 5-6 hours later, they reinstated my account. But here's the thing. I lost 5 or 6 hours of driving that day because of that. And the drivers always receive the gutter. They have to go to hell and back to prove that they did not do what they've been accused of. And it saddened me, not only because I lost almost a half of a day as a result of that, but it saddened me because I could not believe that I was a part of something like that. Like not being treated fair. And it bothered me. I mean, it really bothered me. But I had nothing else. So I had to continue to drive. You understand? And it was disheartening. You know what I'm saying? But, I have also had a situation where I accepted a trip and I got to an apartment complex and there was a girl and her 2 children. And she was an abused woman. And she was trying to move before her boyfriend or husband came home. And she said that he told her that when he get there, he was going to whoop her. And she said that she was watching his location and he was en route there because he worked it like 45 minutes away. And she was just trying to get her and her kids in a safe space. And I ain't going to tell you no lie. That girl had a bunch of bags, and she had baby car seats. She had car seats and booster seats. She had a bunch of bags. She had took a whole bunch of food and put it in trash bags. At that time, I couldn't turn her away. And we piled her things in the van. And she was so nervous. Her hands, she was a little bitty little bitty little thing. You know what I mean? And we piled the things in there, and I got out and I helped her. And one of the maintenance guys, one of the groundsmen at the place came and helped, and we piled that stuff up in there, man. And that was one of the times that I didn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you about the story, though. So after getting most of her stuff in the vehicle, she was coming down the steps with a book bag, and she had she was on the phone talking to somebody, and she just come running down the steps so fast that she tripped up. And it was a lady there, and it was a guy that helped her get up. And she was running, oh my God, we got to leave. He's about to turn in the apartment complex. And she was like, I don't want no truck, I don't want him to. I said, get in the van. I said, come on, get in the van. So I said, don't worry about it. I said, you get in the van. Me and the groundsman was still trying to maneuver stuff there in the back. I see that Chrysler Pacifica had 3 rows of seats. So I laid the last row down because she had so much stuff. And we was piling stuff up in there trying to, because we put a sheet down, and we was piling stuff up in there trying to get most of the stuff in there. Well, this nigga, when she get in the car, I said, get in the van and don't worry about nothing. So dude pull up, he jump out the car, he got, it was a nigga with dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? He get out the car, so he walking, he looking around, he goes up the steps, he comes back. So I looked at him. He went on up steps, come on back down the steps, he looking around like that. And so I guess he looks at the phone and try to see where her location was. By that time, I was standing like that, and I was looking at him like this. So he called her because he knew she was in the van, right? He called her, and he said, yeah, you need to bring my kids out the van. You need to bring my kids, and you need to come on out the van, and because if I had to come get you, it's going to be some trouble out here. So I turned around and I told him, I said, let me tell you something, partner. I said, look, I ain't got nothing to do with your business. But you not going to go over here. You're not going to come to this vehicle and proceed to get her or anybody out of this vehicle. And I'm telling you this, and I looked him in his eyes. No, I ain't King Kong. I don't portray to be the baddest. You know, but I'm a man at the end of the day. And she was in the vehicle with me, and she was going to be safe while she was in my care. Plain simple as that. So, oh boy, he told me, hey man, you know, you don't got nothing to do. I said, yes, I do, because you told her that you was going to go and get her. She's right there. I said, if you talking about going over here touching my vehicle to get her out of the car, then you talking about coming into my space. We're going to have a problem. Hey, man, well, we can have a problem. You know, I don't have no problem, this, that, and the third. I said, bro, let me tell you something. We ain't going to go back and forth. We ain't going to go back and forth. And I'm going to get in the vehicle, and I'm going to take her where she going. And anything other than that, partner, you might as well go ahead and just, let's get it, let's go ahead and do it. Playing some of that, he talking about, yeah, man, whatever. You probably gonna call the police. I said, no. I ain't calling the police. But you ain't going near that vehicle, and you not gonna try to get her out of there. And I stand on that. He went on back upstairs. So, the maintenance dude pushed the Joan back down, And he came to me, he was like, yeah, man, dude, a pussy ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? He a pussy ass nigga. He a nigga with a loud bark. But, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got nobody. He's like, you know, he said that maintenance dude told me, say he had went up there to the maintenance, came to the maintenance shop, and one of the guys at the maintenance shops had to get in this shit. Had to back his ass down, and he did the exact same thing, turned around and walked off. So I jumped in the vehicle, pulled the girl off. She's scared to death. You understand what I'm saying? She had a little taser or something in her hand. And something, I guess something to protect herself in case he was to try to fight or whatever. I told her, I said, baby, you put that away. Come on, we go. So we get to go drop her off. I didn't realize the girl was going 175 miles away. So I said, what the 175 miles? So she was like, it's the only place that I know he's not going to come. You understand what I'm saying? It's the only place. And let me tell you something. That trip didn't pay me a lot of money. I think I might have made $80 something off that trip. But it was the principle. It was to make sure her and her children were safe. Look, moving, Lyft and Uber drivers, we are not moving vehicles. You don't know from trip to trip, you don't know what situation it is that you're going to come across. And it's up to you to use your discretion. But moving is one of the things that Uber and Lyft drivers are not. We are not movers. We are not U-Hauls. I wanted to leave this video today to touch on this because I know a lot of Uber and Lyft drivers are going through this. If you take a trip and you get there and somebody's out there with a whole bunch of stuff they're trying to cram in your car, tell them to say, yeah, man, I'm going to have to cancel this because you can't put all that in here. And I'm not helping you move any of it or anything. And we're not putting any of that stuff inside of the car because I don't know if any bed bugs or anything's on it. Cancel the trip and keep it moving. Okay? Hey, sweating it's about 100 degrees out here, but look here. If somebody did not tell you today that they love you, you just know that Rideshare Real Talk loves you. You all stay safe out there. Hey, man, drink plenty fluids. I'm out.